I feel like this video might be my hottest take that I've ever taken in Tanki Online. You're more than welcome to bully me in the comments down below for my horrible takes. As for always, enjoy the rest of this video. Now, first of all, I wanted to talk about, well, assuming that you've seen the title of this video, this one might hurt a lot. I feel like augments are not exactly broken in a sense. Now, let me talk about a little bit of my experience, my playthrough with Hammer overall. Now, I initially started playing Hammer way back in 2021, 2020. Back then, when Hammer used to do 1,260 damage per shot, which was enough to kill a light hull. Back then, every single YouTuber used to meet Riot Slugger saying that, oh, this augment was the best in Tanki Online. In my case, I used to say that Hunter Duplicate being able to one-shot basically any light hull without any protection was absolutely goated, and you didn't need to take 3 shots to kill an enemy. Then time passed on and we moved to the next era of Tanki Online, which was the status effect era. And basically every single status effect augment was basically broken. And so it kind of forced me to use EMP, which allowed back then, allowed me to hit a definite crit on my last shot, hence allowing me to kill the enemy right away right after that. Now it didn't matter if you were using EMP or AP, you were basically guaranteed that kill. Now, a little after that, they right away removed that OP-ness from the status augs, and then they slowly moved on to high DPS augs, which kind of forced me to then switch on to HACAC, high capacity ammo clip, aka budget revolver. Now, at that time, I still did have Hunter Duplicate. I did get that from Ultra containers, but I kind of found it as pretty garbage that was my opinion back then. I was brain dead back then, I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought it was completely useless, so I continued using a high capacity ammo clip for quite a while until Hammer got a damage increase. That damage increase really kind of forced me, and well, the range nerf for Hammer, the 10 to 15 meter range nerf, that kind of forced me into using Hunter Duplicate, which now if you pair it with Booster, it's basically old Hammer, like how back in the days it was. Now moving on to the main topic. Why do I feel like these augments are not exactly as OP as they seem? Is because, well, and my answer to that, it's not the actual augment that's OP, it's the player that makes it work. Now, you could technically say that, oh well, shock therapy is really OP, and I would agree with you, but if you're a NPC player or you're a Teddy and you have that augment, there's no way in hell you're gonna reach top 3 without knowing how to get to the enemy as close as you can. Now, if you gave a player like, maybe Jumper or me to play with a shock therapy, obviously we'd dominate. And that basically goes for every single augment. You need to learn the advantages and the disadvantage of every single augment. Let's go, for example, let's start with Freeze. Freeze, the budget version of Critical Mix-ish Corrosive Mix. Now, it does have a increase in damage compared to, well, the Critical Mix having a critical hit chance of way more. Now, some would argue that, Critical Mix is obviously more OP. Now, I wouldn't totally agree with you or disagree with you. I'd be kind of neutral there. It depends on the player once again. If you're a good Critical Mix player, you're going to be able to, well, hit any enemy and kill them right away. With Corrosive Mix, it takes a little bit more skill only because you don't have your freeze effect to disable the double damage from the enemy, which, by the way, Tanki Online, you still haven't done that yet. It doesn't take that long to add that part. And I feel like this ideology goes into any other free-to-play augment in Tanki Online. The term free-to-play is any augment that you can get from containers. Well, it's easy obtainable from containers. Pay-to-win would be any of those broken augments like shock therapy, whether it be, I don't know, the shock freeze, the buffed shock freeze augment. You could say that that's a pay-to-win augment. But pay-to-win for how long? A month? Probably 2 months? And then it gets nerfed back to the floor, making majority of the augments kind of similar to what they are. And now, time for a little bit pro advice. If you want to get good at any useless or weak augment, you have to learn the ins and outs of that augment, the advantages and the disadvantages. Me, I could still rock up in Legend lobbies top 1 carrying my teammates with regular Duplicate. I don't need Hunter Duplicate, but it is much easier in a way to play with more broken augments. And thinking about this a lot kind of forced me to put my horrible take into this video, so you're more than welcome to make fun of me or actually discuss this on the Discord server that I've made for everyone. You're more than welcome to join. It is in the description of this video down below. As for always, I'll see you guys all in another one. Peace.